Hi everyone, I'm Sarina Fazan. Thank you so much for joining me live as we count down to Tampa Bay 55. Do you love my news set here at CP Communications and Red House Streaming? And what a super day we're going to have, because joining me, I'm so excited, the CEO of Visit Tampa Bay, Santiago Corrada. Santiago, thank you for being here.
My pleasure. It's always fun to get together.
Oh my gosh, and also zooming in live for us is Allison Zucker-Perelman, who has worked with the NFL for 8 years. Allison, can you hear us?
I can.
Oh my gosh, okay, this is celebrity hour for me, and this is my first official launch. So yesterday, I was actually with you at the convention center, the media hub, for the big game, and we were going to go live. I had Brendan McLaughlin, Frank Robertson, very familiar names in Tampa here getting ready to toss to me. So I just wanted to mention that to say now we're on the set. But anyway, that was just some stuff I need to take care of. Santiago, I know, I'm so excited. I'm wearing red, ready for the Buccaneers. So tell us first a little bit about you.
About me?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Been in Tampa about 18 years. Came out of Miami, worked for the mayor in Miami, came to work for the great mayor Pam Iorio, followed that up working for the great mayor Bob Buckhorn, and I've been with Visit Tampa Bay now for almost 8 years.
And it's such an exciting time. And I want people to know we are sitting 6 feet apart following the current mayor, Jane Casters. Jane Castor, we follow her advice on, social distancing,
Wore my
being
mask.
safe.
Wore my mask till we got on set, till we got separated.
Yeah, and here's my space mask. That's
race car mask.
My race car mask. So Allison, tell us about you. You're joining us from Boca Raton.
I am. Having me on, it's such a pleasure. I worked for National Football League Properties, which is the marketing, advertising, and promotional arm of the National Football League for 8 years. And I worked many, many Super Bowls. And one of the most noteworthy and certainly the most fun was 1918 with my Raiders at the old stadium.
At the old stadium.
We have to get so much perspective from you. Let's start with you, though, Santiago. So talk to me about, clearly such excitement this year, but a hard year, with COVID, it's unprecedented times. Tell us about what's happening right now.
Well, little did we know that we would be hosting the Super Bowl during a pandemic. We bid on Super Bowl so many years out, so you have to roll the tape back to 2017 when we actually bid for the Super Bowl. And so this was supposed to be LA's year. They had issues with, not issues, they were delayed a little bit with getting their stadium off the ground a full season before hosting the Super Bowl, and the NFL turned to us. Naturally, we have the experience going back some time to hosting Super Bowls, and so the planning has been very unique this time around. Most of the time, a lot of that planning happens with people in person on the ground. We had to use some technology, as we're using today, to start that planning process. But now we're in full execution mode, full blown out, let's get it done on the ground, and it's going very, very well. We're very fortunate that our locally elected officials, as you've mentioned, have put into place a lot of safety precautions and safety guidelines in order for us to hold a safe Super Bowl here in Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Hillsborough County. And I can tell you the weather cooperates, so we have lots of events outdoors where people feel safe. And so far, the folks we've seen in town are having a really great time.
So many questions for you, Santiago. But Allison, let's bring you in. You've worked with the NFL 4 years. What a different experience this year. Could you weigh in on your feelings on that?
Yeah, sure. And I will echo what Santiago says. I think that Tampa is a wonderful city in which to have it. And I think that not only does it highlight all the wonderful things that Tampa has to offer, but I know that the NFL, along with the host committee, facilitated a philanthropic element to the show where some of the virtual seats are being sold to the public, and all the proceeds are going to feeding. That says everything about the year that's this year,
And it says so
and the
much about Tampa
commitment.
Bay.
Well,
Yeah, and it says so much about Tampa Bay and to the organizers. And I think that it's going to be, number one, it's going to be an awesome game. I'm a true football fan, and what a great matchup! What a great quarterback matchup! And let's face it, come on, Tom Brady's the Bob.
That's why they
I
call him the
am,
GOAT, right? I just learned that term, by the
you
way.
know, and
Sorry.
I thought the white shirts were a very interesting choice, the white jerseys,
Interesting.
twist in there, and the entertainment options. I know throughout the city, as well as the choice of the weekend, is just going to be amazing. I worked for many, many years at many Super Bowls and Pro Bowls working on the entertainment options, and the NFL does it better than anyone.
Well, let's
So
talk.
I,
I'm sorry, Elsa, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but let's talk about the entertainment option and just entertainment in general. So yesterday, as I mentioned, I was with Santiago at the Tampa Convention Center, and we took a tour. It was the first time that you walked through as well. We went through Radio Hall and everything, and it was more quiet. I mean, you and I have had such a blessing, like Allison, to be able to cover many Super Bowls. Can you paint that picture for us? It was more quiet.
yeah, well, usually the beginning of the week is a little bit more quiet, so we're expecting things to ramp up, obviously on Thursday, Friday, leading up to the big game. But yeah, it's a very different Super Bowl. We're doing things virtually. The NFL, hats off to the NFL, 22,000 fans, but of those 22,000, 7,500, over a third, are going to be frontline healthcare workers that have put their lives on the line for all of us during the pandemic, and they get to be honored with a once-in-a-lifetime experience. So again, a year of so many firsts. The first time we're hosting a Super Bowl under these types of conditions. Our hometown team in a Super Bowl, first time in Super Bowl history. And then, of course, this focus on everyday heroes. So, again, very atypical Super Bowl, but we're used to those, right? We hosted one during the Gulf War. We hosted one in 2009 during a recession. We've got pros here that know how to put on big events. We've had the College Football National Championship game in town. We've had the International Indian Film Awards. We had the Republican National Convention. First day was actually threatened by a hurricane. So we have just an incredible team here on the ground, from the city to the county to the host committee, airport, port, hospitality industry, you name it, that get it right. And I think so far, I've heard comments already. This already is our favorite Super Bowl experience. First time ever, NFL experience, open and free to the public. So again, just a very, very different year, but the right place and the right time for us.
I'm so proud of Tampa. So proud of Tampa. Allison, with a Super Bowl like this one, though, typically you do see a lot more celebrities coming in to the host city. We're not seeing that as much this year, correct?
it's an unusual year. As a celebrity publicist, I actually have two events that are celebrity based going on in Tampa. I have celebrity artist Sarah Conca at the Michael Murphy Gallery with her Super Bowl commemorative pieces, Buccaneer commemoratives. And then on Friday night at one of your major venues, Hyde House, is the incredible DJ Ravi Drums. They're doing an open house, starts at 8 o'clock on Friday. And I think you will see some celebrities. I think you will. They're going to fly in and they're going to attend the game.
Santiago, do you
Safely.
remember when we talked to Ravi and met with Ravi numerous times during Bollywood?
Yes.
He was here for also the
Yeah.
Bollywood events. I still have the pictures with him.
Yeah, I do too. And and I think she's absolutely right. I think we're going to see celebrities come into town. The matchup is an amazing matchup, right? You couldn't have written the script any better. The defending Super Bowl champions, hot quarterback with the Chiefs there, Patrick Mahomes, and then, the greatest of all time, Tom Brady, and the star-studded team that we've put together. Again, it's going to be, the defending champs against the hometown team. You couldn't write better storylines, and I think it's getting so much attention by not just the national media, but the international media. You know, I was on a few Zoom interviews this morning.
A few Zoom interviews. Oh, well, please tell us who you were on with just this morning.
The BBC staff, Reuters, and everyone's talking about the Tom Brady impact to the team and to the area. And, you know, the answer is pretty simple. You know, some teams know how to win and some teams know how to lose. And winners, you know, have this infectious personality and everybody rallies around that and it's contagious. So I think the fact that we have some great athletes on the team and then you have, you know, someone who's so used to winning and winning on that big stage, you know, the expectations were pretty high going into this season. I can tell you that. I don't think people imagined a Super Bowl. Maybe some did, but I can tell you the expectations were really, really high.
I'm so excited that you brought that up, though, because usually I end the show with that. I'm like, before we end the show, let's talk about the Tom Brady factor.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel, and I'm going to ask you the same question, Allison, you feel that he was the piece of the puzzle? Do you feel that we needed to bring the team to this point?
You know, I think if you ask Tom, he'd say, you know, as I always do, you're surrounded by a great supporting cast, you know, great teammates. And I think that's true as well. I mean, you know, the attitude and behavior, the winning attitude that he brings, and then surrounded by some great athletes, I think he's a big part of the puzzle. But, you know, to have the whole puzzle, you have the other pieces, right?
Yes.
So you have coaching and you have an ownership team, leadership team, and you have these athletes. So, yeah, a big part of it, obviously, you know, what's made the difference. And you can say that Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Mike Evans, you know, I love the center Jensen. So you got so many great athletes on the team that make it all work. So, you know, it's going to be a great Super Bowl. You know, they only beat us by 3 points early in the season. We had a slow start. So I hope it's not too competitive. I can't take these close games. You know, it's like, are we going to call 911 for Santiago? So I'm hoping it's not that close a game, but I'm certainly hoping we end up on the right side there on the scoreboard.
I do, you know, but you're right though. I love the matchup because hopefully it will be a very competitive game where it's not
too competitive.
Yeah, not too competitive. We'll see. So Allison, all right, again, I usually end the show with this, but the Tom Brady factor. What do you think about the Tom Brady factor? Do you think it was Tom Brady that, you know, brought us to this point?
Unquestionably. So Santiago, I'm 100% with you, but there are two things. Number one, I agree with Santiago on the fact that it is the entire team, but it's like a great movie or a great song. It's the bones, okay? And to speak to, not that I'm a betting man, but to what that stuff, that's why they call it a competition, because each game is unique. It's for either to win, and the generational matchup of Brady and Mahomes. Come on, I think it's going to be the game.
Well, let me ask you this, guys. No, it's going to be so exciting. But let me ask you this: both of you have been around really big name celebrities a lot. Speaking of the big show, you know, the halftime show. Getting to be with the players, give us a taste of what they're going through right now, or the coaches. You know, what are they going through right now, as we lead up to the week?
You know, I'll jump in there. I think, you know, you have a game plan, and you practice that game plan. I know from, you know, my years with the city and planning for events. You know, you have a plan and you overplan and you think about all the contingencies and you try to get the best team together to then execute the plan. And so there's that level of excitement leading up to showtime, right, or the big game. And you hope that you've practiced enough that everything's automatic for you and that your game plan works and you're successful. And so I think that's, you know, probably the team mentality too. You know, there are game plans and there are plays and the team players all fit into that. And there's the excitement now, the added excitement of doing it in your own backyard and family and friends and, you know, the storylines that are out there. So I can imagine the excitement is pretty high. But if you've done it enough, it's like riding a bicycle and you're hoping that all those things happen naturally and automatically and you're able to do what you think you're going to do. But then, you got to worry about the other team. So they are going to do things that you may have to then change and tweak and come out. That's why they always say halftime, who's going to adjust better at halftime. So I think, you go in with a plan and then you see how the other team reacts because you have an opponent and then you have to recalibrate to deal with what's happening with the other team.
They're totally in concentration mode right now to make sure that they're ready and prepared for Sunday.
Right.
So Allison, with you and many of the celebrities that you have represented who perform for the halftime show, the week leading up to the Super Bowl, what are they going through? Are they also in total prep mode?
Not only are they in total prep mode, they are a well-oiled machine. Having been on the inside for so long, truly a well-oiled machine. They leave very little to chance. Everyone has their squads with them. They have, they've been rehearsing, and they do have several rehearsals on the field. And I know that the weekend, because this is a virtual experience for millions and millions of people globally, they have, I think he spent, I think that it was reported 7.5 million out of his own pocket to enhance the virtual.
Wow.
So that's going to be something that's going to be written about and talked about in the press as an adjunct to the entertainment factor of this game. It's going to be huge, and it's a total secret.
So, speaking of that, when they do practice on the field, who gets to watch? Does anybody get to watch their practices, or is that really, really kept tight-lipped?
They have, it's a media opportunity in many cases, but again, very controlled. And they, now with the advent of their social platforms, they'll shoot some film and they'll edit the film. So you'll see snippets on different places, and that's the pre-promotion of the entertainment portion of the game.
So let me ask you guys this on a very, very serious note. Of course, we're making history. The Buccaneers are in the Super Bowl, first time ever that the host city is, the host team is, hosting it. But let's talk about the financial angle, because they always say, and I know it's a double whammy, right? Like typically, we're also dealing with these unprecedented times with COVID. But usually, you have two teams coming in, spending a lot of money in the city. So Santiago, talk about that. I mean, the financial angle of this whole thing.
It's going to be a different Super Bowl, right? From many, many different perspectives, it's a different Super Bowl. But it is the Super Bowl, and everybody else doesn't have it. And everybody else has been through what we've been through. So the fact that we have the Super Bowl to start 2021, we will see economic impact. The $100 million question is how much? And we have to wait till after the Super Bowl to really figure that out. I can tell you that if most people who live here are like me, when the game was over Sunday night, I became the most popular guy in my family, whether I am or not, with relatives, with friends. They all wanted to come to warm Tampa, Florida, whether to come to the game or not come to the game. And, can we stay at your house? No, you got to stay at a hotel because we need the economic boost. So, quite honestly, I think there's going to be a factor that's going to play into it. And that's how our locals take advantage of hosting friends and family members and getting out there and taking in this ambiance. I've always said not everyone that goes to a Super Bowl destination has a ticket to the game.
Right, like how many people really do have a ticket to the game?
So the majority of the people come to just have a great time in and around the game. That's why there are watch parties. That's what, right? Now we're doing it a little bit differently, but most years you see people out in the town, in pubs, in restaurants, in bars, taking it in. So I think you're going to see the same thing, and the pandemic has not changed the way we look for a Super Bowl. I mean, the decor this year, the beauty shots, they're amazing. I mean, I'm a local, I've seen it all.
Stunning.
And on Sunday night, I had to stop and take a picture of the sunset behind the NFL experience because it was just that dazzling. So I think if you come here, you're going to enjoy a very safe Super Bowl experience in a time when most people really want to get out and do that.
Allison, your reaction to Santiago's comments, please.
I'm in 100% agreement, and I think it showcases your city, throughout the globe. So much of the revenue of Super Super Bowl is tied to television, as Peter Rosell. The model stands it is, and it's one of the iconic events, broadcasts ever. I think that it is reflective of Tampa that number one, they, they agreed to host it, and you will see beautiful vistas of the city, which, by the way, Serena, as you know, we were just together in Tampa. It's a beautiful city,
Beautiful.
and you should be so proud. And I think that this is one of many Super Bowls to come that you'll host, because I went to the stadium and it is a superb venue.
I know we have, oh, it is beautiful. And I wanted to let you react, Allison, first, but I wanted to ask you, Santiago, too, about hotel rooms, though. Are they close to capacity? Can hotel rooms even be to capacity? What is the status with that? And I know the rules keep on changing, but if you can give people a clear picture.
Some hotels are going to do better than others, right? Because you have contracts with the NFL, with the host committee. They're hosting the teams, they're hosting NFL staff, they're hosting the media. So obviously those are going to fare very, very well. What'll be the interesting angle will be how that spreads, right? In past years, we have spread the wealth and spread the people over Pinellas County, over to the beaches, all the way over to even Orlando, down to Sarasota, Naples. I think this year, because of limited capacity and maybe travel restrictions, we'll see it more concentrated in our county, in our city. I can tell you that going from January 1st to the 26th, hotel occupancy in Hillsborough County was about 53.3%. In a normal year, it's 73.4%.
Wow.
Last time we hosted Super Bowl, it was 86%. So we have things to measure against, and we'll be watching very, very closely as things develop this week and during the weekend and even the week after. So we'll be able to know how it compares. And then, there are smarter people than I that throw all those numbers into formulas and tell us, well, the economic impact was XYZ because you had this many people in town. They have to eat. They have to stay somewhere. Most of the time they buy stuff. They go out and take in events and the attractions. And so, very, very scientific people put all those numbers into equations and tell us, hey, the economic impact was $100 zillion billion. I don't know, but we'll find out after this weekend for sure.
It'll be so interesting. And we actually taped a show that's going to run on Sunday, and I said that the players were staying at the JW Marriott, but I found out that they are scoop here that they're staying at the Marriott Waterside. I probably shouldn't be announcing it, but
I don't know. I'm going to say I have no idea.
I have inside sources, Santiago. I have inside sources. The players aren't coming in until later in the week, so that again is another impact. But what Allison said, and what you have also said, this is such a televised event. Kelly Frank, who is the director of content at the CBS station, Channel 10, she was on one of my podcasts, Incredible Women series. She's amazing. She probably can't even take a phone call right now. But what you guys said about Tampa is going to be highlighted all over the place. So even if people cannot come right now, Santiago, would you say this just opens the doors for the future?
And Allison knows this. Mm-hmm. I mean, the media exposure around a Super Bowl, but the media exposure has been going on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And after Sunday, it exploded, right? Again, history making, they are now the hometown heroes. So that media attention in the future has netted us visitors, corporate relocations, additional conventions and meetings. Somebody comes here and experiences this safe Super Bowl, right? They go back and say, hey, I want to have my convention there. Those folks know how to do it. They wear the mask, they socially distance, everything's clean, everything's safe. Let's have our big convention there next year. And so we've seen that happen. Obviously this is our fifth, so we have some experience with this. So again, all eyes of the world on Tampa doing it right. It's priceless. It really is.
Well, it's a domino effect. You're right. It's absolutely a domino effect. And I can't believe when we did Bollywood, not one arrest. Yeah. Not one arrest. I mean, that's unprecedented. It's great. I mean, we want to brag about it. And I had the pleasure, Allison again is joining us from Boca Raton. And when you mentioned, Allison, you were here in Tampa, your artist, in fact, is also going to be on my show. So if you want to talk about her a little bit, about Sarah.
I know that I absolutely do. And I just I just wanted to say first that I promised Sarina, so just like when I'm on other shows, shoe cam.
Okay, yeah, my favorite Louboutins. Yes. Love them. Well,
I saw you in 'em.
You've got to show the red.
I met you.
You got to pick them up again and show the red, of course. There we go. Hey,
So
if anybody from Christian Louboutin is
And with
listening, I love the shoes. And now that I have my own show, I can endorse anybody I want, and I would love to take a pair.
They kind of have the Bucks thing going on, don't they? With the red and the yeah.
Totally.
Yeah,
I should have worn mine today, but I'm honestly running around so much. That never stopped me before in a newsroom. But yeah, don't people say put it out in the universe?
Put it out in the universe.
Put it out in the universe.
Put it out there.
So Allison, I'm so sorry. So we were also talking about Sarah, she's a Ralph Lauren model who is an artist, Santiago, and she's actually also going to join us on the show later on this week. And that's how I first met Allison.
Awesome.
She was in Tampa.
That's great.
Well, speaking of that, so we're doing a week of shows. We've already this one is live, which I'm really excited about because, of course, celebrity power here. I wanted to officially kick off with the two of you, but we had State Attorney Andrew Warren on.
Good friend.
Yeah, great guy. We also had head of stadium operations for the Rays, Jim Privatera, on.
Yeah.
Brendan McLaughlin is one of the men I respect the most, was my co-host on one of the shows. We have Steve and Greg Belisari, who are coming on the show. Both of them actually are brothers, played for Ohio State, so Ohio State fans made history. Both were captains.
Huh?
So which was kind of cool. One played against Tom Brady in college. The other one
Did he tell you how that went?
Well, he won. Get out of town.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So, and we have so many. I mean, we can't even name the list. And I haven't told Lowell this. I keep the general manager here. I keep on throwing things at him. Well, guess what? If we bring a live camp stream, it's called, we actually get to go to one of the Super Bowl parties at a major hotel.
Oh, really?
With 55th. What's the name of the band? 50 Cent.
50 Cent?
With 50 Cent.
You're going to see 50 Cent.
We're going to see 50 Cent.
We're invited.
We're invited. We're
All
invited.
right.
So there we go. Well, okay. Any last? So, Allison, I'll let you close out first. Any last words from you?
Yeah, I just wanted to, encourage everybody to go see Sarah's commemoratives to the Buccaneers, and definitely catch DJ Robbie Drums at Night House. And I know there'll be a cocktail waiting for you guys to invite.
Oh, thank you.
And just as a matter of trivia, to close it out and bring it full circle, my mother, Buckeye, Miss Ohio State, 1957.
Whoa.
Get out. Well, I'm not surprised because you are simply beautiful. You're gorgeous. So that does not
I
surprise
love
me.
you. Back at you.
Oh gosh, thank you. But that does not surprise me at all. I love you closing it out that way. Santiago, final words.
What can I say?
Go after that, right?
Mr. Ohio State, Mr. University of Miami. I don't know what to say after that.
Listen though, your hair speaks for itself. You've got the best hair.
Thank you. I had no idea how to follow that up. I really did not.
No, you know what's really funny? Like, we will be walking around, we have these masks on, and people, I mean, you're very well known, but people like the hair. I mean, people are just like, oh, Santiago.
I'm going to cut it really short.
We love it. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Guys, I can't even thank you enough for joining us for this first full live show. This is such an exciting week. We're making history. Love this community. Make sure to tune in to those. You can watch them live on all my social media channels, and of course on the record with Sarina Fazan on podcast, and of course on YouTube. So again, thanks so much for watching. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Stay safe and have fun.
O-negative blood is the universal blood donor. It goes to trauma victims, it goes to newborn babies, and everybody else. Blood is always needed. You always need it no matter what. And I just know that I'm helping at least 3 people with 1 unit of blood, that I'm able to save lives. I'm universal. I'm unique. I'm O-negative. Are you?